this is a bit I don't like. So first thing is, who I've been listening to this morning. Music's always very important to me. John Butler Trio, live from the Red Rocks. Absolutely amazing. Used to listen to a lot of John Butler Trio when I was travelling around Australia. John Butler Trio, Xavier Rudd, Pete Murray as well, another one who I ended up seeing a gig of his at Noosa, Sunshine Coast. I actually ended up talking to his PA. I went to like a little after party thing with Pete Murray and some other people. So it's just the way things happen with me. Communication, you talk to people, you end up in these amazing situations. But that was ages ago. Right, that's who I've just been listening to, and now that I've pressed record, it stops the music. So I'll basically, I don't really plan this. Confuses me how people don't have content for things like this, because all I've got to do is leave the van and there's loads of content, or sometimes you just stay in it and there's content, but I'll get onto that later. That's a civilian enforcement officer, people who issue parking tickets, basically. We'll get onto that one a bit later. So what have I done since I'll just show you my diary again. So that is kind of what it looks like as a result. Let's do it this way. And it might be. This is this week. So I've even done this little thing at the bottom saying lift off and a little winky face. And that's because that's just something for me to see, not for anyone else. And that's in relation to my yoga business. That was last week's. Loads of stuff going on in that. Alright, let's try and I'll just pop it back up. So that might be a little reminder. So I've obviously filmed my last one last Saturday, and then did my rigmarole of going to Wetherspoons because I don't have Wi-Fi still, and that's alright. I go to Spoons, I pay for if I've got money, it's good to stay on top of your budget. I've got 55 pence in my wallet and 16p in the bank, so I know what I've got. So I've got enough for 40p soda water and lime. So I will go to Spoons later on and pay for a drink, so I'm not completely taking the piss, and use their Wi-Fi and upload this video. So yeah, I did the video last week, and then Sunday I went to Ritual Rhythms, ecstatic dance, which is great. Kind of took my Smarty promotional material and put it in a place which smacks you in the face. It's the inside of the disabled toilet, and it's the only toilet in the main floor, the main sort of room, if you like. So I put that there. I'm not going to push Smarty anymore. It is for other people's benefit. It's not really for mine, because £2 a wrap is not really worth my time that I put into it. So it's just one of those things. There's some promotional material out there, including with Falmouth University now, and if they want to take advantage of it and potentially help a lot of people, and a lot of people who, it actually really could be something which assists people with Alzheimer's. But I don't have the funds or the capital to do that. I'm not going to push it, because my business is yoga, fitness, wellness. Part of that is nutrition, and I know how to look after myself, and that is how I'm still alive. 10 months on £10.80p a week. I did post something last night about how I do that, and it's just making your own stuff. It's quite simple, really. If you know how to cook, you would be alive. If you don't, you'd be dead. It's quite simple. Magic beans. There's no massive magic thing to it. I'll turn this around. I might have to put a light on underneath there so you can see. But we can do that one. So I've got some red kidney beans, I've got some dried chickpeas, I've got some lentils. These are all generally organic. And mung beans. Mung beans is what I put in last night and made along with a few spices. You can just play around with it. You can be a witch in your own kitchen. That's what witches were. People who use things from nature, herbs, spices, that kind of thing. But yeah, you can have a play. You can be your own Harry Potter, or Luna, or whoever you want to be from Harry Potter in your own kitchen. Have a play around with it. But what I've done as well over here, I might as well do a little amendment on what I've done. So that's my bay leaves, that's filter coffee, that's fresh ground coffee, that's instant coffee if I've got it, which comes in that one which says instant shame on the top. It's not, it's actually quite nice. And we've got chia seeds, we've got linseed, then I've reused that, that's got lentils in it, organic, and that one has mung beans in it. I've got another 2 that I've just washed up. I've just done the washing up. So another 2 jars, making sure they're completely dry first, so that I don't ruin anything. And then the kidney beans and the chickpeas will be going in that one. And then I don't have to keep opening a cupboard door to get to them, and they're there. And it also kind of reminds me to use them, because I've got them. So why wouldn't you? To make beans on toast, it's so easy as well. Just mung beans, and with those you soak them, you drain them, chuck them in fresh water, boil them for boil them, then simmer them for 15-20 minutes, chuck in a tin of chopped tomatoes, add some herbs and spices or whatever you want really, a little bit of brown sugar. Some people do, there's loads of recipes, I'm not going to go into it, loads of recipes out there. But I also chop up a bit of onion, put that in, fresh garlic, clove if I've got it, I'll chuck that in. And then you've got an actual more nutritious version of beans on toast than you get out of a supermarket that's been sat in a tin for ages. It makes perfect sense, and it's absolute peanuts. It costs next to nothing. As do most, once you've done that initial purchase of dried goods, lasts forever, like, and it's so much cheaper than doing the lazy thing and just picking up a tin off a shelf in a supermarket. It's more nutritious for you, it's better for you. Anyway, moving on from that, so I went to Ritual Rhythms, saw some friends there, and kind of let them know my plan on the fact that I'm not staying in the UK. This is nothing against people, or the majority of people in the UK per se. It's just the climate. I've just been born in the wrong hemisphere. I'm meant to be somewhere nearer the equator or in a warmer country. I hate being cold. It's as simple as that. I hate being cold. Different things for different people. I've travelled the world. I appreciate some people haven't, but I've been in hot, humid, arid. I've been in all sorts of different conditions and climates, and I am perfectly happy. In the UK, it's damp and miserable most of the time, and you get these like few days in the year which everyone's like, wow, this is amazing. Well, if you don't live here and you live somewhere else, you get those days a lot more, and that's what I intend on doing, leaving the UK and not coming back, and going and living in somewhere warm, which will be absolutely amazing, and it is going to happen, and I will make it happen. So that's what I will be doing. Like I say, just kind of go all over the place. Sunday went to Ritual Rhythms. I've let them know that my plan on what I'm doing and my yoga, and the fact it's something new and exciting and has not been done in yoga yet, or not to my knowledge anyway. I don't know, I don't go online. But I've also informed the practitioners, the breathwork practitioners, that this is what I'm doing, and Dan, the world number one, he got very excited about it, as I am as well. It's just because of this thing called nervous system regulation that I do, that I've explained before. It's sometimes a little bit, I don't show excitement in the same way quite often, and my tone of voice can be quite monotone as well. So it's not that I don't get excited. Sometimes sometimes I say things best without words, and that can just be hand gestures, and non-verbal communication. I do this all the time with people on the coastal path, because I have my earbuds in, and if they're runners, for example, they usually would have their earbuds in, and it's a narrow path, so I usually like tuck myself in to find somewhere to let them past or whatever. And we just have, it's just a little thank you or whatever. By the way, don't do that if you don't ever gesture to someone like that if you're probably in Southeast Asia in that kind of way. Very rude. Down. Just little things like that. Never touch Buddha's head. Don't show the soles of your feet in public, or to other people if you can, if you're in like an Asian country. Also considered quite rude. These are things which people wouldn't know. Asia. I've got little flags drawn in here. So we've got Thailand, which I've spent quite a bit of time in. Lucky for me. Just little things that, see, the people in the UK can be quite lazy. Go on holiday and expect everyone to just speak English, which they generally do, but just a few little words here and there is like a really nice thing to be able to do. So when you go to Thailand, Kop Kun Kap, Saudi Cap, that's the male version. The female version would be Kop Kun Ka, Saudi Ka. And they're just like, I'm not going to even tell you what they are. It's up to you if you want to know this stuff. But they're just little things which just, it makes things go so much better. I popped into a Thai restaurant in Falmouth and had a chat with the Thai lady who, I don't know if she owns it, proprietor or whatever. But yeah, we had a bit of a chinwag, and obviously I get on with a house like a house on fire to most people. There's a lot of muggles in the UK, and outside of the UK, it's less muggly. Certainly outside of Europe, it's less muggly. But people who I've met around Falmouth, who I've got on with amazingly, Thai, Vietnamese, Philippines, a very well-dressed lady from Moldova who was married a British man and lives here now. I did apologise for that, so I'm really sorry about that. And then I said I'm only joking. Just loads of people from all over, and you generally find, if then, this is again me just thinking and speaking my thoughts, if people aren't from the UK, they're much more open to concepts. It seems to be there's a massive majority of the UK who was just like, oh, it's something different, not interested, don't care about that, blah blah blah. And that's why I just don't get on with people here as much. It's not that I can get on with them, I just don't want to. I'm not interested in them. I'm interested in people who are more open-minded. That's it. So what else we got? We've got Thailand, we've got a flag of Brazil. I trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai with the 18 times Northern Thai champion, Master Kong Pipop. And we've got South Africa flag up here. We've got Swedish flag here. And I've drawn other little pictures. I've drawn the Helm of Or. A lot of people, this Norse mythology, a lot of people mistake Vigvasia for Helm of Or. So they'll have Vigvasia on their vans or cars or whatever. I'll flip it and show you. I'm not going to go to that. I put that on there because that's the one people recognise and they think it looks cool, and it does look cool. But that's about 250 to 275 years old. Old Norse, which is where a lot of the stuff from the UK comes from. But that is Vigvasia. That's not the genuine one. The genuine one is the Helm of Or. Like that, basically. Anyway. And also something which a lot of people would have in their gardens or whatever, Tree of Life. Now, the Tree of Life, that's actually called Yggdrasil in the UK. So that's Old Norse as well. So that's not even from here. Just for anyone in the UK who might be interested. A lot of our stuff comes from Old Norse, Scandinavia. Okay. What else is that? So Saturday, Ritual Rhythms, went out to dance, spoke with some Mayan brothers there. One does cacao and one does fruit juice. and I had a free cacao and a fruit juice. Thank you very much to both of them. Um, Gratefully appreciated. Thank you. So that was Sunday. I always get up to loads, but Monday, my watch had run out of battery. I go analog. I don't really like digital too much. You don't really go wrong with analog. But the battery had run out. Now, years ago, I bought a lifetime guarantee battery replacement from Timpson's, and I've had, I don't know how many batteries in this over the years, but they honour it, and that's fantastic. And they replace the battery for free. They check the seals, so that's the top tip. Timpson's, they do a really good deal. Take them up on the guarantee for a battery. So Timpson's here is Asda at Penryn, so I did a round trip. I incorporated that into my exercise. I did 5 hours of exercise of tabbing that day, but I went the long way around and went and had my battery replaced at Asda for free, and came back, and that was part of my exercise. I exercise about 3 times a day anyway, but that's just me, after every meal usually. I basically carry out self-torture. I condemn myself Mondays to Fridays of staying at the van in case anyone is interested in Smarty at all. So I do that between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and it gets me to sit down in what Ayurveda would call a creative period and start planning things, either be creative or start to plan. I use that time quite wisely. I'm not always sat down because I can get up and I can I'm like a Tigger. If I was in Winnie the Pooh, I'd be Tigger. Tigers like to bounce, so do I. So even though I'm in the van and I'm static, I can still have music on. I can still bounce about. So I'm still technically probably exercising even when I should be sitting down. So I don't really do that sitting meditation crap. Does not work for me. Walking meditation or meditation through movement works for me. Next. So yeah, had my battery replaced. Oh, yeah. DJ etiquette. Oh, I was going to call this. I had a couple of thoughts on what I was going to call this. I was going to either call this Silent but Deadly, and I'll explain why if I remember. Or Lord of the Rings, Hoovers, and Eurovision. Lord of the Rings. I said on my last one, I like rings. I carry a ring sizer around in my bag. I was speaking to, this is just before I had a free yoga session up there, and I went around. There's a few craft stalls, and there's a lady who makes her own silver rings and bits and pieces. Obviously, I like rings. And had a chat with her. She uses silver clay, which actually gives you a better purity than 925. So I took one of her cards. I fessed up. I said I've got no money at the moment, but it is something that I'd like to do in the future and make my own ring, because I've got a piece of slither of Moldavite, which I would like to set into a silver ring at some stage. So we had a bit of a chat. But yeah, silver clay. Better purity than normal silver, so you learn something new every day, right? Which is good. So that's what I was going on about. That's the only thing about Lord of the Rings, really. That's J.R. Tolkien. I've got one of his books in there. I've read a lot. Lord of the Rings. He took a lot of his inspiration from mythology. Hoovers. That's right. My carpet could do with a Hoover. It's actually two rugs and then like an outdoor foot one. So I can actually drag them out and give them a good beating outside at some stage. But Hoovers, I was looking ages ago at the VTech AirRam or the Dyson's like handheld Hoovers that I could have kept in the van, given them a charge and hoovered up. As if I've got not stuck down flooring here with the rugs, which is the top layer, I can take them out. I can beat them outside because I don't have a Hoover. I can't afford one on 55p and 16p. It doesn't work, but I can beat them. So yeah, that's another job. So, and Hoovers, that's another point. So that goes back into music production, something that excites me. For those who know anything about hard house, Hoovers was a noise. It's the only way I could describe it. A noise that was quite often used in hard house. I remember a lot of tunes with Hoovers in them, and it's an interesting noise. But sound production, that's it. I try and keep this to half an hour, so we'll just whistle through everything. All right, Hoovers, blah blah blah. Eurovision. It was Eurovision on Saturday. I didn't know about it because I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV. But apparently it was Eurovision, according to a friend. And Eurovision, I'd love to go to Eurovision. It's probably going to be one of the happiest places in the world, right? People just singing, enjoying their songs, all getting on with each other. No one blowing each other up with a bit of luck. Yeah, it's just like a really happy environment. I love it, Eurovision. It's fun. Yeah, don't know where I'm going with that anyway. Let's just move on. So that was Eurovision. It was Eurovision on Saturday, and Bulgaria won apparently. So well done, Bulgaria, and Israel possibly second. Yeah, don't know. I'm just going off what I've been told. Who was DJ etiquette? Go on to DJ etiquette. So this is one. It depends. I don't like to be elitist, but there's different levels of DJing. And some DJs may be quite happy for you to wander up and request songs. Would probably happen quite a lot at weddings and things like that. And if they've got it, they'll probably whack it on. And then there's a different sort of tier or different level of DJing, and that is where they've probably put a lot of their own time and effort into working out what their set is going to be, and they've created it. They've made it how they want it to be, yeah. And they don't want you coming up and asking, "Have you got this? Have you got a bit of ABBA?" No, I haven't got a bit of ABBA because I'm playing house of some variety, or whatever. I'm playing psytrance. I've definitely probably not got a bit of ABBA unless I've mixed it into something else with a bit. You get what I mean. So they've created their set. They don't really appreciate or really want people wandering up and asking, "Have you got this? Have you got that?" It's already done. It's already worked out. It's just DJ etiquette, especially if someone's in a mix as well. It's not the right time to go and try and chat to them. If they're outside of that, and if they look like they're amenable to it, they might have a quick word with you. But remember, they are working as well, because they've got limited time on that track, and then they've got to bring the next one in. So DJ etiquette, generally just don't go up and chat to a DJ if they're in the DJ box, unless they know you or they're happy to do so. Generally wait for them to come out. Okay. There's so much stuff I could go on to. Right, 23 minutes. Let's have a look. Oh, I've also got the flag of India drawn on there as well. I've also found some new boots. So sometimes I go backwards and forwards through things, trying to work out what's the best for me for a given situation. So I'd previously come up with the Lower Zephyr GTX in Coyote as boots, which definitely would still be on my list. I've also found another pair of boots, which are the Salomon XA Forces Jungle in Coyote again. They're very lightweight, they've got drainage holes, they're not GTX, not Gore-Tex, they're very suited for very wet, humid, jungly type environments, funnily enough. They're not going to make your feet sweat. So yeah, been looking at boots again. So that's kind of where I go with things. And it's a good idea if you have got money, which I don't, but to have a pair of Gore-Tex boots and a pair of non-Gore-Tex boots if you're going to go to different environments. Oh, this is an important one. I've got various arrows flying into it. If I get something wrong, I like to fess up to it. And I did this on my Insta post earlier on in the week, where I accidentally posted a tiny little flag. So they're right at the bottom. Wasn't really seeing what I was doing. I was in dim light. I put the flag of Niger rather than India. Very similar. It's an easy mistake to make, but I held my hands up to it. So what I also want to do, and as yoga is my business, I am a yoga teacher already, by the way. I'm the only one who knows my style, and it's a unique style of yoga that I will unleash on the world, and it will help a lot of people. I'm the only one who knows it, so I am a yoga teacher. I'm the teacher of my own style. It's just I've got to get the accreditation in other people's styles first to make it more legitimate, more creditable in the world of yoga. So that's what I'm going to do. But I am the only yoga teacher of my own style. So I am a yoga teacher already. And as such, and I've put a lot of study and a lot of effort into this already, and it's my background, Ashtanga background, and I've been a yogi for over 25 years. So the reason I said Pratyahara, spelled Pratyahara, was the fourth limb, is I didn't really put my mind into it. I was just following what I'd heard loads of other people saying. It's not the fourth limb, actually, it's the fifth limb. I like to get things right. Pranayama is the fourth limb. Pratyahara is the fifth limb. I'm not going to go into it because you might not be a yogi and you might not be interested in that, but I just wanted to set that record straight as well. Cool. That makes me feel better. Good. So much happens. So a lot of my time is working out how I'm going to get food, and when I get to that place is picking out nutritious items that I can kind of meal plan with, and keep myself alive, because the only things you really need in this life is food and shelter. And under food I also put water. You don't want to be dehydrated either, but food / water and shelter. Anything else is a bonus. So that's what I do. I've got my shelter, that's the van, and I can access food and I can access water, so I'm going to be alive. And that's a good thing for me, maybe not for some other people. I've explained that already. I've explained loads of stuff. Tell you what, there isn't much time left, so let's go on to what happened on Wednesday the 20th. So I'd been out for 3 hours exercise of charging around. I was very hot, very sweaty. I'd just come back. I was hungry. And because of nervous system regulation, I don't get hangry like a lot of people do. I regulate. Generally I shouldn't have to because I'm back in my van. But anyway, I started to warm up some of the Thai food that I still had left over from a previous day. And I had a civilian enforcement officer, unfortunately for them, approach me in the van before I've eaten. So I'm good at controlling myself, but that is possibly the worst time when I've just done 3 hours exercise, I'm hungry and I want to eat, but I can still regulate anyway. So anyway, we had a roundabout houses of conversation of, you can't park here. Yes, I can. I'm not moving. I said I can't move. That's why I'm not moving. I've got no fuel in the van and I've got no money. And she looked at me. There was a lot of confusion. We went back round the houses. I said, you can blame Devon and Cornwall Police for this. It's all their fault. I said, if you give me parking tickets, which she said she's going to slap them on the window. I said, oh, it's fine. I'll just take them off. And I'll give them into Falmouth Police Station and tell them to get on with it. I've got no problems with that at all. So we had a bit of a conversation about that again, and about my yoga, and about how my family name is Water Spirit, Native American, don't like being moved off land, and the rest of it. And it was quite an interesting conversation. And then I actually said, do you want my full name? And she'd already walked off at this point. She was like, no, you're all right. And I said, and then something which I forget to remind people of, because for me, it's a mindset thing. So I don't consider myself homeless. I consider myself a van lifer. I live in my van, yeah, full time. And but technically, by UK legislation, I am homeless. So, as I've just said, do you want my full name? And she's gone, no, you're okay. I said, oh, I forgot to mention, I'm homeless, by the way. This is my home, because she'd already said she was going to send bailiffs, or it would go to bailiffs coming around if I didn't pay the bills. Well, I've already explained, I can't pay the bills because I don't have money to pay them. I can't pay for the parking. I don't have money for fuel. I can't push the van. She agreed with me. Yeah, you can't push that. It's too big. I was like, I know. So we've gone all the way around the houses, and basically they haven't put any tickets on yet. And if they do, it's absolutely fine. I'll just keep handing them into Falmouth Police Station until they sort their act out. Not a problem to me at all. Silent but Deadly, because we've gone over 30 minutes. Silent but Deadly, that is me. So I'm not talking about fast, by the way. I'm very light on my feet because I'm relatively lightweight. And so because of this, I keep a protein bottle with a like the metal shaker at the bottom of it, so it makes a rattle and a noise when I'm walking and charging around the coastal path. It alerts people who are not that spatially aware and not aware of their surroundings that I'm coming, and without trying to creep up on them and freak them out. So that's what I do. It's like a rattle. It's an alert that I am there and present and I am coming. And it's amazing how many people have no spatial awareness at all, because even with that, a lot of people haven't got a clue. I'll be like, literally, I'll have made a heck of a racket getting up behind them, and then I'm like blocked in on the coastal path, and I'll be like, excuse me, and they jump out their skins, and I'm like, sorry, I was to try and make a massive noise coming up here, but you were completely unaware. I'm just trying to get past. Thank you very much. And off I go again. No drama, just get on with it. But spatial awareness, and being aware of your surroundings and what's going on, I'm always in a high state of alert, always. And that's why I wear glasses a lot of the time. I'm completely comfortable in here, by the way. Oh, we can put those ones on, and then you get an amazing thing. Let's see if I can show you what that is. Woo. There you go. Let's take those ones off. So you don't need drugs, you just need a pair of those goggles, really. Spatial awareness and being aware of your surroundings. Now, when I'm out and about, my eyes are kind of all over the place, but I don't want to alert people to that. And I don't want to freak people out either, but I'm always aware of what's going on around me, and use my senses for that. And it amazes me how many people are absolutely clueless to things. So 32 minutes, we're just coming up to 33 minutes. My question for you, and I know exactly what I would do, and I would be alive at the end of it, but if a terrorist burst in on you and you were eating at a restaurant, what would you do? Leave you with that thought. Danya Vedtak Pila Maya from the Bad Boy of Yoga. Namaskar, people.